This video is aimed for my ladies out there talking about tracking your menstrual cycle. First, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie. I'm Long Island's eating disorder specialist. I post on this channel twice a week, all about eating disorders, body image issues, and general mental health. So if any of that interests you, click the subscribe button down below. Also, consider subscribing to my email list using the link in the description below. Every week at the beginning of the week, if you're subscribed, you will get a newsletter letting you know all that's to come in the following week. And I create worksheets to go along with many of my videos. So if there is one available that week, you will be getting it at the beginning of the week. This way you could get the most out of the videos and the content that I put out there. If you are struggling with any sort of eating disorder, disordered behaviors, or body image issues, really, it's so important, not that it's not important otherwise, but it is incredibly important to be tracking your menstrual cycle, tracking your period. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why and how it could be helpful if you do that. And I'm also going to talk about some things that you may want to consider while you're tracking your period in order to just really get to know how your menstrual cycle affects you. And you may feel like I don't need to do that in order to know how it affects me, but tracking just gives you another layer and really gives you an ability to see patterns that you may not have otherwise saw, and that's really going to be helpful for you. So one of the reasons that I always recommend that my clients are tracking their period is for body image. You may feel that you are doing pretty well with body image and you're kind of just sailing along and not really feeling badly about your body, and then something hits you and then all of a sudden you feel so bad, so awful about your body, judging your body, this and that. You have no idea why. And all of a sudden we might find out that the week before your period, your body image tends to tank. What do we know about that? What can we do if we know that? One is it's important that we recognize exactly the reason for it. It's our hormones changing, and it's like, okay, let's bring it back to reality that your body image, your body didn't just change overnight. You're having struggles with body image right now because you're getting your period next week and you know that this is something that you struggle with. Another way that knowing that can help you is that you can be proactive about it. So if you know that the week before your period, more often than not, you have real struggles with body image, you could prepare for that. And that may be, you may want to make sure that you lay out your really comfy clothes that week so you feel a little bit more comfortable. It may be that you have a lot more coping skills ready for you. You may feel that because your body image is really rough that week that you isolate more. So perhaps it's important for you to set up a time that one of your close friends can come over and you have that social interaction, but maybe just in a more comfortable place for you. There's so much that you could do to prepare for it and to help it along when you are struggling with body image, especially as it pertains to your period. Because if you know your period, you're going to know how to prepare for the things that come along with it. Another reason that it's really important to track your period, especially if you're struggling with disordered eating or eating disorders, is that having an eating disorder can disrupt your period and it can even bring it to a stop. It's called amenorrhea. And I believe I had done a video on it. If not, let me know if you would like me to do a video on it because it's very, very important to talk about. But it's the loss of your period and it's something that's very, very dangerous. And again, I could talk more about it, but you sometimes may not realize that it might have gone a long time without you getting your period. And it might be a really long time before you kind of recognize that. You're like, wow, I haven't had my period in a few months. And that's a time that it's really important for you to be talking to a medical professional about it. So again, just another thing of awareness that you could get from tracking your period and making sure that you're taking care in the best way possible of your health. Another thing, your mood may heavily rely on your period. A lot of women are impacted by their menstrual cycle and their mental health takes a dive sometimes, and that maybe when you're having your period you get a lot of anxiety or you maybe feel more depressed or just struggling. And it's important if you are going through that, and if you know that, again, every time you get your period you tend to get more anxious, you could be prepared for it and do as much as you can to be proactive about dealing with that anxiety before it even becomes a problem. The last reason I'm going to talk about why it's important to track your period, especially in eating disorder recovery or if you're struggling with disordered eating, is because your hunger and your cravings can really vary. And a lot of people don't realize that your hunger can be very, very different on your period. And it's important to recognize what it is for you, because your eating may very well look differently than it does on every other day. So some people have a diminished appetite on their period. However, most people get more hungry on their period because your body's taking up more energy in order to do what it's supposed to be doing. And some people will even go as far as to say that she gets ravenous on her period. So it's important to figure out what it is for you so that you can be kind to yourself and recognize that this is something that is the way your body responds to it. Listen to it and just be forgiving with yourself if your appetite changes, if your eating changes, because it probably will, and it really should. It's just your body's way of doing its thing. I did include earlier this week a little cheat sheet as to what you may want to take into consideration when you're tracking your period. You would have gotten it in the email this prior week, but some ideas that are important to be tracking, or some things that are important to be tracking about your period, is your emotional state. And I want to encourage you to do it every single day, not just at the time of your period, because it's important to recognize how the cycle works for you, which is a full 28 days, varying depending on the person, but a full month. We want to be able to identify what is your emotional state tend to be 2 weeks before your period, or during ovulation, or right after your period. All those things impact it. So track what your emotions are every single day, track your energy level, track your body image, track your hunger, your cravings. And I'm not saying it's completely only based on your menstrual cycle. There are a lot of other factors at play, but if you notice patterns and you notice how it might relate to your menstrual cycle, again, it gives us information, it gives us knowledge, it gives us awareness, which is power, and helps us greatly. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any apps that you particularly prefer when it comes to tracking your period, because there are so many that are really, really great. You can click my face over here to subscribe to my channel, and I wish you awareness on your journey to finding your state of balance. And I will see you in my next video.